Hey. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Wednesday. I know I said in the chat Tuesday. It's in fact Wednesday. We're losing track of the time around here, baby. Cool. First off, sorry for, I know I've missed a couple days here. Was having some technical issues. The computer was down. Had to have some IT support come in here and show me what's up. Conclusion, I don't know. Apparently the theory was that Windows was updating, and while it was updating, we had a power outage, which the way my friend explained it to me was that it's like it was writing with a pen. This made me laugh, which is why I'm going to repeat it. Sure, props to him. His name's Steve. But it's like it was writing the code, and then the power went out, and instead of kind of stopping and then going back into writing the code, cool, sounds good, thank you, Tay. Instead of writing the code, it stuck the pen in its own eye. So something about a corrupt file, which wouldn't let me turn the computer on. It was this whole thing. Ultimately had to wipe the computer clean, so I lost all of my files and everything, all my downloads. So a little bit of a slap in the face, but that's just life, man. And you just go forward. So it's not gonna, I don't have all the bells and whistles that I usually have, but we do have snow. We do have some snow going on, man, and we were promised snow today by the stupid weather people, and of course, it did not come, because they're always wrong. The only job in the world you can be wrong 90% of the time and keep it. So I give you snow on YouTube, all right? It's snowing for all of us. Go down, have some flakes. All right, dude. What are we here for? We're here to look at the charts, apply fundamental technical analysis to them, and try to spot the mythical edge as always. Frosty! Notice he says frosty now, right? It's cold out. We're not toasty. We're getting frosty. Frosty! All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin here, man. Started off on the daily. We do have 26 minutes until the daily candle close. I don't want to jump ahead because, you know, the most volatile times are at the beginning and the end of an asset's time frame, especially on the daily. But it's looking like we're going to get a bit of an indecision candle here. Just no real body or anything, and just in the middle of this range that dates all the way back to March 25th of 2021. All right, that's a discernible valley there that we wanted to hold on to. Also trying to hold on to 50,000. 50,000 is a very psychological number for Bitcoin, you know, more so than kind of anything else, more so than 25, more so than 30, more so than 40. The zeros and fives in the trading world, in technical analysis, really do act as major psychological resistance and support. So you are hanging on to it, but you're hanging on to it by a thread. And if you paid attention to the thumbnail on the way in, you probably know, well, if you've also seen Titanic, you probably know where my theory on Bitcoin is right now. Indecision candles at major levels of one, psychological resistance, but now two, historical resistance, being in this 50,000 zone. This really isn't what you want to see. You want to see more decisive action breaking through this. So the fact that you're above 50 is fine, but indecision here is really not what you want to see. You want to see confidence. You want to see a breakout. What you had December 6th is when you pierced through it. You broke through 50. You got indecision, and then you got indecision. All right? People don't know what to do right now. And they're not. And part of that statement there is that they don't know if they want to buy or not. So, you know, it's looking kind of weak just as far as the price action goes. You know, slight argument to say there's some Class A bullish divergence going on, at least on the MACD, not on the RSI, on the relative strength index. But I mean, move it to the 4-hour and we have hidden bearish divergence going on. So we have a higher high on the MACD. We also have a higher high on the RSI relative to this peak here from December 3rd. And you're selling off a bit, right? So you're making a lower high in price. So the lower high in price, higher high on the oscillators, what we call hidden bearish divergence, which signals continuation to the downside. And if you're showing indecision on the daily and the 4 hours implying continuation to the downside, in my opinion, most likely you're going to fall below this 50 mark. It's not going to hold, and you'll probably fall back down to 47 to test and try and hold that again. That's what makes sense to me in this moment. That's what this is looking like it's going to do. I don't see any argument for bulls that it's going to reverse here and break out to the upside. As I said, 4 hours showing continuation to the downside. All right. Maybe the hourly is showing a little something. I mean, the hourly was showing a little bit of hidden bullish divergence, sure. It looks like you had a big candle here. This is what broke you out earlier today up to the upside, because I mean you were at 48 at one point. So yeah, you broke above it on this candle here. That was pretty major. How much was that? 3% boost in an hour. I mean, that's a big deal for Bitcoin. And now you're just trading along sideways at 50. So you need more decisive action than that. You need, like, after this breakthrough on the hour, you need another decisive hourly candle pushing you up to the upside to go test 53, essentially, 52,825, and the 200-day moving average. So showing weakness, man. It's not great. VOH FYI. Dorothy, hello, welcome. New face. What's going on? Hope you're having a good night. DOH. What is that? Do you want me to take a look at that? Is that a crypto? What is that? Let me know. Let me know if you want me to take a look at it. I don't really know what that means. VOH for your information. But yeah, we can take a look at that if you want me to. But yeah, as I said, indecision at critical levels of historical resistance. Not good. Not great. So we'll see what the follow-through price action is. Again, my theory is we're heading back down to 47 to retest that. And maybe at that point, we'll get some Class A, we'll get some classic bullish divergence down there. That could signal the reversal, okay? So hold on tight, all right? And right now, Bitcoin's looking a lot like Jack from Titanic, okay? He's on a door, and there's a little room, but we know how that ends, okay? Let's look at an asset that is not doing anything like that, that doesn't look that bad. Ethereum. Okay, and on the day, we got about 21 minutes to go here still, but the daily candle today, up 2.62%, has broken this peak back here from May 12th. All right, so candle wick high, May 12th, up at 4,375. You have broken it, and in 20 minutes, you will close and confirm above it. All right, so Ethereum looks good. Where Bitcoin is showing indecision at critical levels, Ethereum just broke one of its prior all-time highs. It's a big deal, man. That's important. And nothing really implying any kind of divergence on the daily. Maybe a little bit of convergence, just making higher lows with a slight higher low in price. So, but I mean, dude, like, again, Bitcoin showing indecision at critical levels. Ethereum is breaking critical levels and about to confirm with pretty solid bodies as far as the candle is concerned on price. So, you know, Ethereum just looks better. The Ethereum to the Bitcoin chart, you know, we've been looking at that. So we've seen that it's been poised to outperform. And don't get me wrong here. If Bitcoin does dump and go back down to 47,000, Ethereum will probably sell off too, and probably sell off below the peak here that we're looking at. But I think it will outperform as far as how much it sells off, meaning that it won't sell off as much. I mean, we can just look. Ethereum here from the all-time high that we had on November 10th is about 10% off. It's only about 10% off from the all-time high that we had a little earlier in November, where if we go and compare that to Bitcoin, go to the all-time high, which is right around, what, like 68? Right around there? Where are we currently at? Currently at about 50. I think I'm reading this right, but we're down about 25%. So it's down more than double what Ethereum is down. So that is just classic outperformance. Let's go ahead and move it over to the 4 hour. Yeah, no divergence. No divergence necessarily, but the 4-hour back above the 200-day moving average. Okay. Bitcoin's 4-hour is way below the 200-day moving average, right? And way below historical levels of major resistance and all that stuff. So, dude, there's no argument there, man. Ethereum just looks better. It just looks better. And with Bitcoin showing the signs it's showing and potentially looking like it's on the downside, it's not a bad idea, in my opinion, to allocate some Bitcoin into Ethereum. In my opinion, at least for the shorter term, right? You could argue the macro, what it's going to do long term, that's fine. But in my opinion, within the next like few months, I think Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin. Because one, it has been, and two, the charts, they just imply that. All right. So yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Frosty. All right, VOH. Let me type that in just in case I'm missing something here. No, I don't know what that means. VOH. I don't know what that means, Dorothy. But appreciate you throwing that in here and then not clarifying. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at Binance Coin, one of the top guys in the crypto world, as we know. All right, you have, and this is a pretty big structure showing here, but you do have a ascending triangle going on here, right? So you've got a series of higher lows going on with, kind of a double top up here around 659. Not a double top, but a top, right? There's major resistance that's been going on at this point. So approaching the apex of an ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern. So it's like, okay, I mean, it could sell back down, to the trend line that we're seeing, the demand line down here before getting to the apex. But the other thing with this is that you have to take the context of Bitcoin into consideration. So it's like, cool, we're seeing a big ascending triangle. Seemingly, I think, some classic divergence. Okay, no, just bullish convergence, which is fine. Let me see, I don't know if the 4-hour is showing any. Okay, so I mean, the 4-hour was showing some hidden bearish divergence, but started building positive momentum again. All right, and the 4-hour is attempting, is over the 200-day moving average right now, actually. 200-day moving average at 604.50. And you can see that up at the top. I'm pointing the right way. I don't really know how to point to it. My mouse is here, over here. This right here. All right, that'll tell you what the 200-day moving average is for the 4-hour. Currently, it's at 604.50. So you're at 606 for it, so you are above the 200-day moving average. Okay. You have 15 minutes to potentially close a 4-hour above the 200-day moving average. Cool. All right, again, looks better than Bitcoin. Near its all-time highs. Hasn't sold off 25% from its all-time highs. We could take a look. I don't know if they have Binance Coin. Oh, they do have a Binance Coin to Bitcoin. Let's take a look at that. I mean, dude, it's been outperforming the F out of Bitcoin. Wow, it's almost at all-time highs as far as Satoshis is concerned. And what this means, the Binance to Bitcoin, or any coin to Bitcoin really, when you look at this number over here, you see 0.01. I forget the breakdown of Satoshis, but it's essentially a conversion of what are called Satoshis, which I believe are like 100 million of a Bitcoin or something. There's like one Satoshi. I might be off on that, but essentially what this means is that the value of Binance Coin at $606 is about 1.2% of the value of Bitcoin at 50,000. So if you just do that math, $605 is 1.2% of 50,000, 544. But what you can do is you can look at this, and if you start seeing the signs of, continuation, reversal, stuff like that, it lets you know that the asset, Binance Coin, is prepped, or will most likely, if the chart's implying upside, going to outperform Bitcoin. the comparative asset. So that's potentially what you're seeing here. It just, I mean, the chart just looks really good as far as accumulation. Let's move it to the 4 hour. It's like, yeah, dude. Okay. Not really, I don't see any divergence on the 4 hour. It's close. You've got a same low down here with a higher low. Not necessarily divergence. Maybe if we take a look at the weekly. Not overbought on the RSI. Just been consistently since October 11th. Just been consistently going up. Here. Just building positive momentum. So, I mean, this could be another asset where, again, if Bitcoin does dump, this isn't saying that, you know, if Bitcoin dumps, that Binance Coin is going to go up. It's just saying that relative to what Bitcoin is doing, if it does dump, that it could potentially outperform. All right. Now you potentially have some classic bearish divergence going on here, much lower levels of positive momentum, at least on the MACD. You're slightly at the overbought area on the RSI, but I don't know, man. I think you're at least going back to 0.012367 satoshis, and if you confirm that as a top, then sure, then we could see you come back down to like these levels back here from June. But yeah, it's probably getting there. It might not reach it if Bitcoin dumps, but it might also get there, and then Bitcoin dumps, and then it confirms it as resistance, as well as confirms the notion we all know of assets following Bitcoin. All right. So yeah, just something kind of interesting. We'll move it back to the dollar version of it, though. Yeah, again, just kind of convergence going on, at least on the daily and the 4 hour. Yeah, just convergence. With the weekly, had that kind of cup with handle thing going on. Did break above it, and is seemingly coming back and, you know, back testing the neckline of the cup with handle structure that we had going on here. Back testing it, and as far as a weekly time scale is concerned, 2 times testing $522. You know, we'll see. It's a level to look for if you break below it with what Bitcoin's doing, because if you do, then yeah, I mean, if you break below this little shoulder here from like August 30th, around $500, yeah, you break below $500 on the weekly, you're probably looking at like 391, and then below that like 344, 328. So we'll see as far as Binance Coin is concerned. But even with Binance Coin, it's like, oh cool, like an ascending triangle, it's pretty sweet. This isn't a value area to buy Binance Coin. It's close to its all-time highs. All right, that's not necessarily what we look for here. We look for things to sell off. We look for Binance Coin like down here, right, showing signs of reversal. All right, you don't look to buy a coin, even if it's showing some continuation stuff at like all-time highs. That's just not what you want to do when it comes to swing trading. That's not swing trading. That's like trend trading, I guess. That might be a thing. All right, let's take a look. I believe this is Solana. Yeah, dude, let's take a look at Solana, because as a matter of fact, it actually flipped Cardano recently. Let me take a look. Let me show you real quick, just on CoinMarketCap. My God, going from dark to light, dude. I wish they had. Oh, do they? Oh my God, they do! They do have a dark mode. That's huge. I literally just saw the moon up there. I've been looking for that thing for like days. Yeah, dude. CoinMarketCap. Solana now number 5 over Cardano. So, dang. Cardano getting smacked. And I mean, how can you not with such, poor performance lately? Cardano has been one of the worst performers since like September. It's just been continuously selling off and consolidating, selling off. And we'll take a look at it, but I want to look at Solana real quick here first, because on the daily here, you definitely are getting some Class A bullish divergence going on, starting to develop. All right, and it's more kind of like Class C, still classic divergence, but kind of Class C on the RSI, but Class A on the MACD. So definitely getting divergence here. All right. Again, it's I wouldn't say now is a great time to buy it. You're getting close to the demand line, which is cool, and the shoulder here from October 3rd at $177. So if Bitcoin was looking better, then I would say, okay, maybe if we want to play the momentum side of things with Solana back up to 261, right? I could definitely see that happening if Bitcoin was looking better. But the fact that Bitcoin's looking, not better, looking kind of bad, you could easily, if Bitcoin dumps, come down, break this shoulder, at which point you're going down here to like 138. Okay, which makes sense because we really go from the lowest low on the swing low down here and bring it to the high. That's right around the 886 down here. All right, 786 deep value areas, okay, where locally that's I want to buy Solana there much more than I want to buy it right here. All right, it's at the 50% retrace. Now, let me kind of hold on a sec here because it did actually spring and then seem to be confirming with this current candle, maybe. It's just hard, man. It's hard with the context of Bitcoin looking so shaky. Because it's like, yeah, okay, Class A, it's holding this level here at like 190. It's holding like 190, and it seems to be sprung and maybe is confirming it and holding it. And it was even touching it back here, November 18th. Back here, October 30th and 31st. But again, man, if Bitcoin does decide it wants to go down to 47, Solana could easily fall through here and negate this stuff, and you're right at critical levels of historical support there. So it's just, in my opinion, not a time to buy, man. When it comes to crypto, I need Bitcoin to look more solid. Or I need to at least see coins that look like they're going to outperform, like Binance Coin, like Ethereum. And maybe while Bitcoin's looking shaky, kind of allocate into those coins because they're going to sell off less according to the charts. But with Solana here, it's like, yeah, it's at support. But if Bitcoin dumps it, it's going to break it. It's going to push it through. And then when it pushes it through at that point, then that's when I'm worried about it heading down to like familiar levels. It doesn't matter what makes it go through and break it. If it breaks it, that's all people are looking at when they look at the charts like this. And you're probably heading back down to these values. But then down there, that's where I'm looking to get it. Okay. So I like it a lot down around like 141, right around the 786 and the 886. And at that point, you might even have some kind of like harmonic, right? Yeah. So. Yeah, you're like right at the shoulder, like right around, 867, whatever, but you got a bullish bat harmonic potentially there. Okay. Who knows? We'll see what the oscillators and stuff are looking like down around this level. But, yeah, I mean, you had a little bit of a swing low here at like 140, pattern completion zone of a bat. Might even get a little bit lower. But this would be the zone that I'd be looking to scoop up some Solana, as long as I'm seeing reversal signals and stuff, if you really want to get in on Solana. But hey, man, shout out to Solana for flipping Cardano. That's a pretty big deal. Cardano had that spot for a long time. So now let's take a look at it, right? Yuck. It's like, what? How could Solana flip? Look at the charts, man. Look how much better, look how much more bullish Solana's chart is. I mean, this is back from April of 2020, just consecutive higher lows. And it's like, you look at Cardano and it's like, when you zoom out, it doesn't look so bad. And it's really not so bad when you zoom out and look like this. But, I mean, we're talking, that's September 1st. We're Solana September 1st. Like, Solana September 1st is right here. Okay, and you're way up above that, so it's like Cardano's way below its September 1st mark. Cardano. Solana is above it. It's way above it, so it's just been outperforming the hell out of Cardano this whole time. I do believe they do something similar. I'm pretty sure they're both like set out to be Ethereum killers or whatever. But one thing you can say about Cardano is that it is definitely, in fact, down around deep value areas, touching the 886 once, twice, 3 times. All right, and this is on the daily. The 4 minutes to go until you close your daily candle. It's a nothing. It's a little tiny whatever, indecision candle. It's not a doji, but it's kind of just like a little tiny spinning top. Who cares? All right, there's nothing impressive about that. And again, if Bitcoin dumps, let's see, you're probably, I mean, what's bad about Cardano is like, dude, you're below, like this price right here, $1.50. Look how many times, like look at the peaks really. The 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Dude, $1.50 is such an important level for Cardano. And it's like you kind of pathetically attempted it here to get back up to it, but you couldn't even reach back up to it before coming back down and now painting, little indecision candles and stuff. It's weak, man. And it's like it's at deep value areas, yeah, but there's nothing in the rule book that says that Cardano can't sell back down to $1. Do a full reset from the swing low back here on July 20th and go all the way back down to $1, dude. There's nothing that says that can't happen. So you need to be prepared for that, and that could be an area to look for to maybe get in on it, right? If it starts doing stuff, but it's like, dude, it's just the what do I want to say? The atmosphere around Cardano. It's like not only has it been vastly underperforming most things in the market, it also just got flipped by Solana. And not even in a small way. It's like Solana's market cap's at $59 billion. Cardano's down at 46. So it's like it's got $13 billion more dollars than Cardano now. And that's not like a small number. Like the difference between like the 10 and 9 coins and stuff like that, it's like $1 billion. Like Solana is 13 billion over, 13 times more than most coins down here once you start getting past the 10 mark. So, dude, it's not something to take lightly, and you kind of got to wonder like what's going on at Cardano and why do people not really want it? I haven't done that research myself. I don't know if they're just not making good on their promises or whatever the case is, but I mean, from its high back on September 1st, this is 97 days, so it's like 3 months, a little over 3 months. Dude, it's lost 55% of its value. And Solana is up from its September 1st mark, so it's just like... But here's the thing again, dude, with Cardano. If they're not just totally floundering and can't get anything right and there's not just like crazy fundamental stuff going on, then yeah, dude, you're down in deep value areas. But I don't see any reason as to why it's going to reverse here quite yet. You do have some slight Class A bullish divergence going on the MACD. And sure, you got some Class C going on the RSI. Maybe the 4-hour helps you a little bit. Nah, not even, dude. Hidden bearish divergence. No, wait. Yeah. It's kind of the same. Same high, but that's not good either, right? Same high on the oscillators. Why is this so small? Same high on the oscillators. With a substantially lower high in price is not a good sign. It's not like, sure, if it came out and made the same high, then like, okay, kinda, but it's a much lower high with same levels of positive momentum, dude. That's bearish continuation in my opinion. Not good. Just convergence on the relative strength index or whatever, it's fine, but that's it. But it's like kind of not fine at the same time. It's like you have bearish convergence, and then you have hidden bearish divergence going on the MACD. So it's just like it's definitely, I wouldn't say showing the reversal yet. There's no like decisive candle close or anything to tell me like, oh, now's the time to get on a Cardano. If anything, especially if Bitcoin dumps down to 47 or sells off, yeah, dude, it's probably breaking the 886 and the most likely level is down here at $1. So look, it touched it May 19th, touched it May 23rd. All right, touched it here April 25th, March 24th, right? And not only that, I mean, $1. Can you think of a more psychological number than one whole dollar? right? If we're talking about zeros and fives, dude, dollar's very psychological. So it could easily head down there, man. So for everybody, dude, never, it was at $3 at one point. Now it could be $1 again, right? We'll see. Charlie, get it together. All right. Let's make a look at. My God, dude, I swear to you, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk, I promise. Dude, space. Virgin Galactic Holdings, okay? Now look, right? How we were just saying. Okay, it's not showing reversal signs or whatever. Dude, Virgin Galactic. Let's take a look. It's been selling off since July, right? Just making lower highs, yada, yada, yada. But if you zoom out and really take a look at the asset, where it is literally right now, look at what it does at this price, right? Did it once back here, June of 2020, straight up, right? And then sold off, held it, sprung, and then back tested the spring and held, right? Okay, and then straight up to 23.57, and then from there, it just went off, right? And then it came back down again. It had a peak February 3rd, sold all the way down here, May 11th, back down to this exact same level. All right, before triple Class A bullish divergence showing on the RSI, right? You had a ton of negative momentum, much lower levels of negative momentum, so higher lows on the oscillator, on the MACD at least. Not once, right? So you had it once here, and then you had it again here, right? So, I mean, technically it's double Class A bullish divergence. Cool. And then it came back down, major historical levels of support, and then went, nuts that time. It didn't decide to, sell off at all, really. It just went straight up. But, dude, look, it's back down there, okay? It's at the exact same price, and look at what it's showing on the oscillators, right? 1, 2, okay, kind of got a little scuffed here, but now you're showing Class A bullish divergence again, all right? So it's like seller exhaustion going on the MACD. It was oversold on the RSI, and it's making decisive moves back to the upside. What I would love to see here for Virgin Galactic, it's like, okay, maybe it's going to do what it did back here, and it's just going to go crazy and just go straight up and, whatever. That's not the play that I'm looking to make. What I would love to see Virgin Galactic do is this. I would love to see it come up, back test this level and confirm it, and then from there I think it would go nuts. All right, so keep it on your watch list, because the main reason this sold off was just that they had to delay their flights until like March of the third quarter. Who cares? Okay, people freaked out about that. Who gives a shit? Are they gonna keep flying people into space eventually? Okay, cool. That's all we really care about. But, dude, this level is so important. 1479, 1440, and you're holding it, right? And you're confirming the support all this time. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's insane how much this is held. And this is what we call an ice line. It's called an ice line, which is just multiple touches on historical prices. So it's doing that. Cool. And if it comes back and it confirms it, and then we get like a bullish engulfing here or something, dude, I'm in on that for sure. For sure. That's exactly what we want to look for here. Okay, so just to reiterate, right? Solana up at all-time highs, Binance Coin up at all-time highs, cool. Maybe showing some continuation, cool, whatever. But it's not deep value areas like this. This is the stuff that we want to look for to make for swing trading, right? This is swing trading. And we don't want to take the reaction low here. We want that confirmation low. And if we get some kind of if we get like another, like, let's say we get double Class A bullish divergence with like a bullish engulfing candle here, oh my goodness, man. That would just be beautiful. It would be beautiful. All right. So space, man. It's amazing how this stuff works out sometimes. Like, you can't say the technical analysis doesn't work. Does it work all the time? No, absolutely not. But as far as increasing your probabilities, as far as increasing your chances and seeing levels that make sense for an asset to reverse at, either to reverse back to the upside or make sense to reverse to the downside, if anything, you just know when not to buy the asset, which is really important, man, because if you're not looking at this kind of stuff and you're just kind of willy-nilly, William-nilliamson in the markets, and you're looking at a number on your phone and you have no clue what it really means, it's just a number, it's just a price. You could buy it just because it's been going up. You'll buy it. This happens all the time, man. It's been going up. It's up 40% on the day, and you're just looking at it, and it's $1.12, and you're like, oh my god, dude, only $1.12? It's so cheap. Let me get that. I could get like 100 shares. And it's like, so you'll do it because it's like 112 bucks, but it's up 40% on the day, showing buyer exhaustion at levels of historical resistance. Like, you're gonna get wrecked. You're gonna get destroyed. Buying it down here, do the opposite, man. Buy the historical supports showing signs of seller exhaustion, right? Unless you're shorting the asset, but let's be real. Most people, not most people, I guess I should say, but a lot of people in the markets today, at least the ones I talk to, are kind of just retail investors that, no, you're not shorting. Shorting's kind of advanced, right? You're just buying the asset. So this is the time right here to really be looking. I mean, you could even take the position and play the play the reaction if you want, right? Because I priced it out here. You're risking 8.61, and next stop probably, I mean, if we're not being too greedy, probably here at like 1875, which is like a 24% gain. Okay, I could definitely see that. And I think the reason, why did I set that up that way? I don't know, man. Honestly, I could see it getting back up to the peak up here with what it's historically done at this level. Yeah. No, I'll keep it where it's at. This peak. Yeah, it's like 42%. So it's like 5-to-1 odds on space at this level. And if you get stopped out, hey, you lose 8.61% of your money. Okay? But the stop would go, you know, right below, obviously, 1440. Put it at like 1380, give yourself a little bit of a buffer. But this is what, dude, this is what dreams could be made of. Okay? I had to turn the light up so you guys could see my pretty face. It just feels better. I don't know why, man. I feel more comfortable when the lights are on or whatever. Because when it's all dark in here, it's just this one light, super bright. I don't know. It makes me feel like I'm on stage or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so space. Let's take a look at Pfizer, just cuz. All right? Just cuz. They came out, I guess it was today. And we're not here to talk about the, you know, validity of the vaccines and whatever. You know, the CEO came out and was like, hey, we found out that the third shot yeah, that's the ticket to stopping Omicron or whatever. I guess the markets didn't really buy it because on the day, what was on the day? Why does that candle look so big? I guess because it gapped up. So kind of, okay, yeah, that's why. So it gapped up and then came down and closed pretty much at where yesterday closed. So even the CEO coming out and saying, hey, you know, our booster shot is good for Omicron. Look, eventually, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that will take hold and people will go out and get the booster for Omicron and they'll make billions of more dollars. But again, I mean, this is not a time to be buying Pfizer necessarily. If anything, it's kind of showing some bearish bearish convergence. So just lower lows in price, lower lows on the oscillators. No edge really. It is at, I guess I should say, these peaks back here from August. It's August of earlier this year. So it is there, so it makes sense for this to be a level of support. But that's that's really it. Unless there's something historically I'm not seeing here, no. So I mean, so here's the thing with Pfizer, man. Cool, they can come out and say that the third shot cures Omicron, but if you break below, I guess I should say, if you break below $50, let's say that. If you break below 50.48, really, that's the major level right here. Because that lines up with the candle close, which is the highest point. And then you got the wick low down here. If you break below that, though, I mean, dude, there's like nothing until down here at like 41.13. So, I mean, and if we want to go ahead and try and beef it up with some Fibonacci, we could go ahead and do that. It's at the 382 at historical support, so I mean, very moderate retrace. This candle though is not good. If you got a bit of an indecision candle, you had a good opportunity to create kind of like a morning star, Japanese candlestick pattern here, but you didn't, right? You just got this bearish candle that closed at yesterday's close. So, yeah, man, you break this candle close here at like 50, 51, especially $50, dude. I don't know. I get it, like the fundamentals around it with Omicron, like they're probably going to be selling a lot more product. So is it going to get all the way back down here and do a full reset? Probably not, but maybe down to the 618. Get a little bit of a shoulder here September 7th. You can get down to the golden retrace area here and 46.79 before pivoting, right? Could make sense if you even want to invest in these guys. But let's look at their neighbor Moderna. Taylor. Can you look at TD? A customer told me today the stock is up. Yeah, dude, we will absolutely look at TD. Toronto Dominion Bank in America. I don't know. Should they change their name? Should they change their American side? Is there Bank of America's in like Canada and stuff like that? Bank of Canada. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I think there is a Bank of Canada, I think, in America. Why is there a Bank of Canada in America though? Also, like you're just gonna come in and just gonna flaunt that. You're just gonna rub it in our faces that you're not from this country. All good. Let's take a look at Moderna. What's Moderna doing? Class A bullish divergence. I know we were more interested on the weekly with Moderna holding the 200-day moving average, which is at about 264. So you've tested it a couple times, your last couple daily candles. So here's what I don't love about Moderna. On the daily, at least, so on a little bit of a shorter, I don't know, I mean, it's just a very significant time scale. It's one of the, probably the most significant that we use here. But you're kind of, you barely got above this shoulder back here from November 1st. All right, you barely made a higher high with this much higher levels of positive momentum, and then you sold off. So that's not good in my opinion. This thing's just gapping all over the place too. It's kind of funny. You might fill this gap for sure between the third and the fourth. Yeah, okay. Weekends, duh. Weekends with Bernie. You might fill this gap, sure, before coming back down and holding the 200-day moving average, maybe. What we were looking at is LOL no what? LOL no. And I'm trying to remember what I was in, and that's what's tricky about this. I know if I would have saw it right away, I would have been like, LOL no, and I would have had a response, right? But seeing it kind of later, and I've just been going. I don't know if you're saying like, no, there's no Bank of America's in Canada or whatever it is, but anywho, the weekly, man, is what we were looking at because you had this beautiful morning doji star candle confirmation, 1, 2, 3, and then follow through price was great, and then Moderna came out and they said, oh, we won't be able to stop Omicron. So then this candle right here, this weekly, November 29th, was all a result of that. So if they would have came out and been like, yeah, I think our shots will handle Omicron, dude, I mean, it would probably gone nuts. But you're coming back down to test the supply line. Do Bank of America in Canada, is what I'm saying. So there is none. Are you sure about that? See, dude, I wish I had the sound bite, but I don't. Are you sure about that? John Cena. Yeah, are you positive about that? I don't know. I feel like there is. One. But, yeah. So the hidden bullish divergence on the weekly is still in effect, right? You see how the RSI, though, is heading back down. So, I don't know, dude. That's tough. The RSI is not looking great. You want to see it continue back towards the upside, but the MACD, it's like hard, right? But it's like, why'd you have to come out and say that? which is good. I mean, it's good that they're being honest, but you're not sure, but it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right, but neither does Toronto Dominion Bank in New Jersey. Like, what are you doing in New Jersey? Go back to Toronto. It's in your name. That'd be like a New Jersey Dominion Bank in Toronto. It doesn't make any dang sense. People be like, what the hell? Philadelphia Bank in Toronto. What? We don't say that? We don't say what? Toronto Dominion? This is what it is, though. You say TD. I know, I get that, but it is Toronto Dominion. That's the actual name. Okay. Okay, so you're trying to slip it under the radar on people. Pretend that you're American, I guess. Canadians in disguise. That is true, though. Until I worked for them for a little bit, I didn't know it was Toronto Dominion. So I thought it just stood for Teller. No. What did I think? I don't think I even thought about it. But yeah, Moderna on the weekly, it's like the negative momentum is still falling off, still waning. So it's like the hidden bullish divergence still in effect. Sure. But the daily is not really helping too much. Looks kind of weak here. It looks like it might be topping out around 375 for now. But who knows, man? They could come out and be like, look, we developed our third one in a matter of 4 days, and it's 99% effective or whatever. You look at the stock, what? All right, dang, dude.
That's not good enough.
You're talking too much about other stuff. All right, let's look at it. Should I look at the Canadian version or should I look at the American version? I don't know why there's parentheses the. Let's take a look. I mean, yeah, you're at all-time highs. You're at all-time highs. You reported earnings December 2nd. Did you? I mean, you worked there. Did you know that? Did you know you reported earnings? You should know that. But you reported earnings a few days ago, December 2nd, and that was, what day was that? December 2nd, yeah, and you got a big green candle on that day. Yeah, you were up 5% on your earnings call, so cool, man. Let's see, I think my shares are in Canadian, yes. Oh, yeah, we looked at that, right? They are, which is whatever. I mean, you can convert it to the dollar, even though Canadian money is kind of like monopoly money. It's kind of the same thing. I remember I would go to the book fairs and I would go to buy a book and it would have the US dollar amount on the back and it would be $1 for the book. And then the Canadian amount was like $2.80. And I'd, hey, what's that about? Why is their currency so much more garbage than ours? And they'd go, that's insensitive, Ryan. You don't say that. Timmy's Canadian. And I go, hey, dude, your country's currency sucks. Why do I got to pay 3 times as much if I go to your country than here? Timmy didn't have an answer. So, that's what I'm saying, dude. Tighten it up, Canada. Get your currency in line. Anywho, like we're one to talk. Greg Brock has sent the email. Oh, yeah. What did you say? It smells like what? It smells like maple syrup? Oh, the money does. Yeah. Yeah, also that, too. It's like, imagine you're destitute for money, like starving in the street, begging for currency, for this paper, and every time someone throws you $1, you get a waft of like pancakes. It just makes you hungry. It's like you're starving. Like the homeless in Canada are probably starving 24/7 because you're just throwing money at them that smells like food. What are you doing? Slap in the face. Every time you give money to a homeless person in Canada, it's a slap in the face. And then eventually they get enough and they probably go buy pancakes every single time because it's in their head now. It's like, I want syrup. That would be like, dude, exactly. I always say that too. Which is kind of sad that US is like known for like a greasy cheeseburger. It's like it's the melting pot of multicultural food and dishes, and you got Cubans and Italians and Irish. Like we don't just make haggis. Whoever else, Swedish meatballs, all that stuff. And then it's like, but when you think of America, you think of like a greasy ass McDonald's cheeseburger. It's like gross. Who's ringing our doorbell? Oh, our food's here, I think. Nice. Speaking of, and Chinese food, which is what we're getting tonight. All right, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at TD Bank. TD Bank, TD Bank. TD Bank. No edge on the daily. Hidden bullish divergence was kind of wiped out here because you made a lower low December 1st. Then your low here from November 19th. Doesn't matter. Right, played out, had a strong earnings, boosted up 5%. But seemingly treating $75 here as resistance, okay? So $75 might be the top. I don't, for now, right? If you were to get up here and reject off of it, you would have a potential double top there. And could sell off back down to test the trend line that we have here back from September 20th. Okay, but approaching a little, well, no, that's not an ascending triangle, but hey, I mean, congratulations, you're at all-time highs, I believe. All right, looking left. Yeah, you're at all-time highs. So here's the deal. If you are getting stock from your company, cool, sweet. But I wouldn't buy TD Bank right now. You might even have, ooh, I think TD Bank might have a little harmonic guy going on here. What do we got going on up here? Like the 113? The 113. Okay, TD Bank is at the pattern completion zone of a bearish shark harmonic. All right, you got the W structure going on. This one's pretty obvious. Should I sell them? I don't know if you should sell them. Like, it's not like it looks horrible. It's not. It doesn't look bad and bearish and like it's gonna sell. I mean, if you want to swing trade your TD Bank shares, you have 15. I mean, if you want to swing trade your TD Bank shares that your company is giving to you as like a incentive or whatever, as a gift, that sounds weird to me. I'd probably just keep it, especially because it's been doing very well. Kind of showing hidden bullish divergence on the daily here. If we're looking back here from September 22nd, all right, you have lower lows on negative momentum on the MACD at least. You don't have it on the RSI, but you do have it on the MACD. I mean, here's the thing, right? You're at the pattern completion zone of a bearish shark. I don't even know how to access them. Yeah, exactly. So what are you talking about? You got to call Greg, probably. Be like, hey, Greg, can I cash in my TD stock? And he's going to be like, well, what? You're not a team player? Why would you sell TD stock? You don't think it's a good company? And then that's when you look him right in his face and you go. And then he goes, how can this up? Right? And then you sell it. Yeah, I would just hold it probably. For what, like, the context of how you're receiving it, I would probably just hold it. Right? It doesn't look, it's not like TD Bank looks horrible or bad or anything like it's going to sell off or whatever. It's been doing pretty dang well, especially since the COVID crash. So yeah, man. But what I would keep an eye out for is, let's move back to the daily here. All right, from C to D. I'm glad you like that. From C to D, we go ahead, stop it. We go ahead and throw a Fibonacci on here. All right, so from C to D, this wave, we potentially have, as we do with all sharks, bullish or bearish, this being a bullish one, we have the potential for a bearish shark to come into play. Or I'm sorry, a bearish 5-0 pattern. All right, which is a 50% retrace from point D of a shark. So if it were to get down to here, 50% retrace, you can see it back here on the Fibonacci, 0.5. If it gets down here at $69 and starts to pivot here, you've got the pattern completion zone of a bullish 5-0. And let's say you throw some divergence or something on that. Yeah, I mean, TD Bank will probably just continue its run back to the upside. You might never get down there, but after a shark like this, the potential for it to retrace 50% down here, and it also makes a lot of sense because at B, you have a pretty discernible swing high at B, right? This peak back here from August 13th at $69. So I'm buying it at 69 all day long. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, 69. I would ask Greg if you could have some more stock once it gets down to 69, if it's showing reversal signals there, okay? But yeah, that's TD Bank, Toronto Dominion. Let the people know what it is so they can call it out and not be bamboozled into believing that it's American. Okay, we know what you're up to, TD. Nice try. Let's move it because I got requested this in the Discord, so we're gonna take a look at it. SoFi. Let's take a look at SoFi real quick. And what time is it? 7:26. I guess the daily candle closed 30 minutes ago. What did we get? Let me look at Bitcoin real quick. Yeah, boo, indecision, spinning top, and look, now you're starting to get some, looks like some selling action going on. The last 4 hours was just an indecision, kind of a doji. And now it's just selling a little bit. So you're $400 away from breaking 50K and falling back out. Dude, it's just, you don't want to see this stuff, especially after a rise from a low down here at 49, right? It's like you come back up into major resistance and then people are just like, well, we don't really know what we want to do here. There's no decision like, oh, Bitcoin's so strong, F it, I'm buying it here because I know it's going back to 68 and then like breaking through, like, and then you have to come back up and test 53, and then you have to test 54, and then come up at 58 and 60. Like, now you have all of this as resistance on the way back up. It's like, dude, gross. Is the slab the only sound you have? No. So these are the 4 I have.
That's not good enough.
I have that one for the complainers. Frosty. That one because it's like a staple. The slap, and then those are the only 4 I have right now. Yeah, everything else I kind of remember like what I have, but they're all gone right now. And honestly, dude, it feels better because like I'm not looking at it like which one should I choose. I think I need to kind of condense them down. But yeah, the slap, gotta have the slap, especially if people come in here saying some crazy like, oh dude, now's time to buy Shiba. You get slapped. All right. Let's take a look at SoFi here, though. SoFi said it was looking kind of interesting. Let's see if it's looking interesting. Let's go ahead and let's start it on the daily. So, yeah, money. That's a good one. I'll get that one back on here. That's the thing. It's not hard. It's just, you know, I had a lot. Like that one, yeah. Especially when you're making money on the stuff. TD Bank would have been a good one for that. Since it's just at all-time highs, you know, just been going up. Just, money, Mr. Krabs, money. All right, SoFi, let's see. On the daily, let's see, at the relative strength index, just making lower lows. Especially, so you're making lower lows in the oscillators, you're also making lower lows in price. Now, you are seemingly pivoting at this valley back here from May 12th. Also touched it April 20th. So this is definitely a level that makes sense for you to start to pivot at. The only thing is that you're not getting divergence down here. It's just kind of bearish convergence, right? So if we look here, October 27th, notice the negative momentum that you had, and it is a bit of a swing low. You can see it on the chart. You are lower with lower levels of negative momentum. So there's no divergence going on there. It is regarding this stuff as support, which is good. The 4-hour is seemingly starting to show some hidden bearish divergence though, right? So you've got a substantially higher high on the oscillator, so on the MACD and the RSI, but price failed or is currently failing, the momentum is starting to come back down, is currently failing to break back above this level at like $19.15. So yeah, man, it's showing hidden bearish divergence potentially developing right now on the 4-hour. So, I mean, that could just push you right back down to this level. And here's the thing. Here's what's cool about this. If you do that, and the 4 hours implying that, so you could just see this kind of sell off here and start going back down. What this would be, where you want to look for SoFi is that it's come up, right? It's sprung a little bit off of historical support. It's going to come back down, I think, back down to like 1440. And if it holds this, and then you start getting some kind of, like maybe a tiny bit of negative momentum, right? But then you have Class A bullish divergence. You could definitely get that on the RSI. I mean, look, the low is way off. Where the RSI right now is way off of the low back here from December 3rd. So you could definitely get Class A bullish divergence on the back test of this spring. And that is exactly what you want to look for. You want to see divergence at major levels of historical support, confirming this as the bottom before going. So right now, I know, Danny, you said you got in here right now. It's okay. Don't be surprised if you see it sell back down to like 1452. I mean, at that point, you're going to be feeling a little bit. It's like a 14% drawdown, but hold steady in the hope that it comes down and confirms this as support before then you could really see it run and go. That's on the 4 hour. And you could, you could definitely, if it were to come back down, right, you start getting negative momentum again, but then coming down, I mean, right there, you'd have your Class A bullish as well on the daily. The weekly, I'm curious, Danny, as to why, what made you think it was interesting, right? I might just not, and it's not that I'm not seeing it, like it's doing it's like at levels of historical support and stuff, so yeah, that makes sense. It's got a piercing pattern going on, it's got a day, 21 hours to close that, but piercing candlestick pattern going on, and it doesn't look bad for sure. Definitely a decent time to buy SoFi if you were. They had a good earnings report, November 10th, right? They're making money. I don't know what the hell happened on my birthday, August 12th. They were freaking way off the earnings, but they got their stuff together and then they beat earnings next time. So cool. Nice. But yeah, I think that SoFi is going to come back down and test this level. And that's where I'd look for it, all right? If you've got it now, just hang on, all right? No point in selling it now. Because it might go up off the reaction low, maybe. I'm not seeing that with this hidden bearish divergence, but who knows, maybe. All right, but that's it. Yeah, let's just move it back to Bitcoin. That's pretty much all I had here to talk about. Been live about an hour, 6 minutes. Nice, pretty good. Frosty. And Bitcoin doing a bunch of absolutely nothing. So indecision going on. Still critical levels of historical resistance and support, trying to hold 50 by the skin of your teeth. So we'll see, we'll see how it goes throughout the rest of the night, into tomorrow, and we'll just gauge it then. All right, indecision at these levels is not good enough for me to buy the asset. All right,
that's not good enough.
That's going to do it, guys. All right, so Taylor, I appreciate you being in here, interacting. Thank you. Anybody that's coming in a little bit later, seeing this, I don't know, tomorrow, whenever, I appreciate you stopping by, showing some love, showing some attention, some support. I hope this was helpful in any kind of way. If you could, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, tickle the bell, make it go ding-a-ling. And, just that really helps me out with getting this message out to more people, really, because it's an important message, man. I hate seeing people just going in stuff and getting destroyed and thinking it's just like bad luck or whatever. Like, this stuff can really help you. So, if it helps people, cool. And build a little community, like-minded people. We all have a good time. Sweet. Go ahead, though. Join the Discord at Obe Technical Analysis, the Instagram, follow that bad boy, the Twitter, the Discord. You have any questions for me, you can shoot it in there, dude. We just look at charts in there all day long, and anything we want to talk about, man, it's just a chill place. But yeah, dude, go do all that stuff. I really appreciate it, and I will be back probably on Friday, And until then, remember to always keep it technical. Our place.